In our last episode, we left Joseph in a very uncomfortable position. He has been sold into slavery, and now he's the servant of a man named Potiphar. He's a very influential man in Egypt. And that's uncomfortable to kind of leave the story hanging there. But we see that God has not left Joseph. God has not abandoned him. He's actually orchestrating some of the events of his life in order to position him in just the right place. In today's reading, we're actually going to see how Joseph's story is going to go up and down, has some pretty significant twists and turns. He serves faithfully inside of Potiphar's house, but Potiphar's wife makes some advances that are not good, that are not healthy. And Joseph does the right thing, and he gets out of there, and he flees, to which then he's wrongly accused of doing something that he did not do, and then is placed in jail for it. Because obviously something has to cover up the wife's horrid offense. And so, Joseph has been faithful, and he's getting it, man. Like, it is not sunshine, daisies, rainbows, and butterflies. It's rough on him, and yet he still remains faithful everywhere that he is. Like, he was faithful even in his slavery to do well, and he became second in command of Potiphar's household. And then he's in jail, and we see that he actually is favored there, and he's actually placed in charge of the jail. And then when some people come to him inside the jail and say, I had these dreams, I don't know what to do, it's really concerning, he actually helps them, and he serves them, and gives them the interpretation, and they forget about him for 2 years. But that doesn't matter, he still serves faithfully. And then they remember him at a time when Pharaoh, the most influential man of that nation, potentially the world at that historical time, I'm not exactly sure, but he's very powerful nonetheless, has a very disturbing dream. And then these guys are like, oh yeah, we remember there's this guy, 2 years later, and they pull him out of the jail. He changes his clothes, shaves, makes himself proper and presentable, and then actually interprets the dream for Pharaoh and gives this advice saying, why don't you do this to make sure that your land is set up and that everything is going to go favorable for you. Dreams come from God. You've been given this in time. This interpretation comes from the Lord, and this is how you're going to go and save your nation. To which Pharaoh turns to him and says, then you're the man to actually implement that. And so his life just goes up and down and up and down. We see that there's a lot of strategic placement that's happening inside of his life. God has not left him, and God is still using Joseph to move his story forward for his people.